before we get started, as I always do, I like to open up with a little statement, a little joke, a little something, a little pun to kind of, open up the air a little bit. And today I have a pun that I just found yesterday and I just jotted it down. You know, the other day I accidentally dropped a full liter bottle of ginger ale on my bare foot. Thank goodness it was a soft drink. Roll that tape. They don't get any better, people. They don't get any better. Oh, I almost have it perfectly down. I'm working on it every time. I almost got it perfect. Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome once again to the Daily Huddle. I am Chase Steele Gray, and it is a pleasure and an honor to be here. You know I love being here. You know I do. I can't lie. Before we start, as we always do, we have some great people that always show up on the call, and I want to reach out to them and just give them a little question to get the fluidity going. I'm going to start with Stan the Man today. Stan, are you here? Stan is not here. No problem. Oh, there he is. Stan, are you there? No.
I think he's trying. He's still muted. Ooh.
Yeah, I am now. I am.
There he is. That's my brother right there. Stan.
Hey. Good morning.
Where are you today, my brother Stan?
Wow. Let me check.
Check that, man.
I'm looking around, man, but guess what? I'm right here. I'm right here. The only place I could be, man. I'm right here.
I love it. Welcome, brother. You know how I feel about you. Thank you so much for being here. Fareed, how are you? And who will you hug today?
I am who I say I am.
Ah.
Today, I am grateful. I am grateful for me. And because of that, I'm going to hug me.
I like
it.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. I'm telling you. Harumi, definitely one of the bright lights of the call.
Good morning.
There she is, Harumi. Harumi, what are you grateful for today?
I am grateful today to be here with you all. Yes.
Excellent.
Thank you.
That's what I like. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. So, my good people, our guest today is somebody that I have a lot of respect for. Just to give you a little context, Loretta and I performed in many gigs together, and she is one of the most dynamic people on the planet. And I'm not just saying that because I don't need to. One of my top 3 people to be on a stage with, and that I never even gave that list out, and she's on the list. So that's how we know each other from the stage. And as you can see, Loretta has parlayed her life into a whole nother area that's fabulous. So let me tell you a little bit about her before we go forward, because this is a lot of good stuff. Loretta Nkwacha, I say that right? Is a British-born Nigerian living and working in New York, recently sworn in American citizen. Loretta is a wife, mother to 2 young children, and an entrepreneur. Her work as a professional performer ranges from several shows for the BBC, singing and dancing on London's West End stage, from playing Lady Macbeth in theaters across the UK, to playing an American on America's longest-running soap, As the World Turns. See, you didn't know that, right? From discussing vocal techniques in London with the legend Luther Vandross, to singing for Bravo's Real Housewives of New York City. As an entrepreneur, Loretta makes and sells her own brand of health beverages, currently available online and in 18 stores across Long Island. Very impressive. Loretta's British ginger tea has a special blend of ingredients and is packed with immune-boosting power that has enabled Loretta to live a life free of colds and or flu for over 5 years. Please welcome to the Daily Huddle, Loretta Nkwacha. Yes. Clap it up. Clap it up.
Hello.
That felt really good to do. I might just call you and do that every other day. So the question today, do you know how incredible ginger is for you? I think that ginger is one of those things that people know it's right there, yet they don't consume it with any kind of consistency for the most part. What is your take on that question, and how would you relay that to someone else? Like if we were just having a conversation and they said, Ginger, what about ginger? Do you know how? Boom, what would you say?
Darling, the first thing is thank you everyone for having me on here. I'm just like, oh, this is fantastic. Thank you for allowing me in to sit here and talk, I would say probably wax lyrical about this topic of ginger. Chase, you know I love you to death. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm so grateful. The question is, can I stop talking about ginger? I literally cannot. Like any opportunity that I get to stand on my proverbial soapbox and discuss the absolute genius creation that ginger is, I absolutely do it. So every single time I encounter someone, especially when I'm doing live events, people that know about ginger, I'm so happy that they do, because they're aware of just how healthy and healthful and helpful a basic thing like this root called ginger is. I knew nothing about ginger prior to 2014. I knew very little about most things to do with cooking prior to 2014.
Right.
So I initially got introduced to it because of pregnancy nausea. As you said in my introduction, I have 2 little humans that I'm responsible for raising, along with my husband, Michael. And for a lot of women, when they're pregnant, they have what is called morning sickness. And it's supposed to last for just the first trimester, i.e. for the first 3 months of your pregnancy. For a lot of us, it is not just for the morning, it is all day long. And also it's not just for the first 3 months, it can go on and on and on until maybe the last month, which can be a full 9 months. So for my first baby, having this nausea, I decided, okay, I've heard that ginger, I think my doctor told me that ginger was quite good. So I started buying ginger ale in a can, you know, something like this.
Just basic ginger ale.
Yeah, ginger ale. And I'm not really a soda person, but I thought, okay, that's where you get, you know, ginger beer or ginger ale. Ginger beer sounded alcoholic. And I thought, at least for 9 months, I ought to abstain from alcohol. Right. So I did. Sipping on this ginger ale, it was okay. It's, you know, it kind of helped a little bit with the nausea. I got through it. For my second baby, I was like, I'm adamant. I do not want to drink soda. It's just not my thing. So being British, as you say, I am of African descent. My family are from Nigeria, although I was born in London. And in England, it's a huge tradition that we all drink tea, hot tea in particular. It's also obviously something very famous in the, you know, in Asia, et cetera, the Far East, et cetera. But it's actually becoming more popular here in America as well. According to surveys, there are about 84% of Americans that are now cottoning on to the fact that tea is a fantastic caffeine-free alternative to coffee, which I know a lot of people drink every single day. With ginger, the properties that just come in this root, it's helpful for so many different things. So it helped me with my nausea. It helps with menstrual cramps, if you still have those. It definitely helps with gut health. So anything to do with digestion. In fact, it's advisable to kind of drink a bit of hot ginger after you eat to kind of help with aid with the digestion. Right. It reduces the pain of osteoarthritis as well. It's just one of the things. Lowers blood sugar, which I didn't even realize until the last 2 years. I've gone for my annual checkup, you know, with the blood doctor and everything. And they're constantly saying, you've got low blood pressure. I'm like, I don't know how that's possible. It didn't dawn on me that it was potentially the ginger. But low blood pressure is better than high blood pressure, right? You know, I have a busy life. I would expect that I would have a high blood pressure, but I don't. Indigestion, I mentioned before. So it helped me so much with my nausea. It wasn't regular tea bags. The ginger tea bags did nothing for me. They were so weak. It was like drinking water. My husband went and bought ginger root from the store. It was the first time I saw it. I sliced it up, boiled it up. It was incredible. And I love the flavor of it so much that I carried on making it. Now, fast forward through the years, when friends would get sick, I would boil up a big pan of ginger for them and give it to them to help them feel better. Christmas 2020 going to 2021, my sister was visiting, as she always does over Christmas, and I was making little mini bottles for my friends here in my town for people to make hot toddies. Now, hot toddy is a tea with an alcoholic beverage and any other any kind of natural remedy you can add to it to help you with your cold and flu symptoms. I didn't have these symptoms. Many of the mothers in my town did. So I was making up little mini gift boxes for them. My sister said, "Why aren't you trying to sell this?" And I was like, "I don't know about selling. I'm a performer, darling. I'm on stage. What do I know about selling except for myself?" I was like, you know what? I'm going to take up this challenge. I'm going to give it a try. It was only then when I started this process of putting this bottle together, putting these beverages in bottles together, did I realize, let me correct the amount of years you gave to your audience. I haven't had a cold or flu since 2014. So that will be nearly 9 years now. I also used to get sinus infections. As a singer, it really used to destroy my performances. I love being on stage. I love singing. I love screaming at the top of my lungs. Chaka Khan is one of my favorites. And right. And one particular performance, the last time I remember getting a sinus infection was actually in Miami on stage there. My voice just cut out halfway through the gig. Thankfully, there were other people on stage, so they kind of filled in for me. When I got back to New York, called my doctor. She was like, "Come in." Every year, she was used to giving me antibiotics for this sinus infection. That was my last time of having a sinus infection. That was 2014. So this whole time, I just turned 51. I've not had a cold or flu. My youngest used to always get bronchitis, like mild bronchitis. So we would use like a nebulizer machine with him every cold and flu season. We haven't used it for the last year and a half. I used to sneak the drink into his apple juice and his vitamin C drink. He now knows that's why he's no longer using the machine. He's no longer seeing the doctor in between the annual visits for anything other than just going for the annual visits. So ginger on its own helps with so many things. I've heard people from the Caribbean telling me things about, you put it on the sole of your feet or you sleep with it in your pillow or whatever to kind of help you. To me, it's phenomenal. And if it can stop you in a country or in a state that is a 4-season state, if it can stop you from getting sick when all people around you are getting the simple ailments like colds, like flus, I would say even COVID, for things like that, if you can stay away from the doctor's offices or stay away from the pharmacies getting those over-the-counter remedies, why aren't more people doing it?
I mean, that's what I said in the beginning. Certain things are here. They're right in front of us. They're not hip or cool or whatever. You can take them in private, whatever. People don't do it. And also, I wanted to ask you if I've been taking ginger for multiple years. Like, I've known about it forever. I have to thank my Jamaican grandmother and my Costa Rican grandfather for that. But at the same time, have you been opened up to some other things outside of ginger that can be happy companions to them as well? I'm guessing you're a very intelligent human being. I'm sure that you've parlayed this into other things that are also medicinal. Can you talk about some of those?
Absolutely. As it happens with my Loretta's British Ginger Tea, I ended up actually adding a few only 3 other ingredients to kind of help to boost the immunity. One ingredient specifically I added just for the flavor, and that was cinnamon.
Oh, another top incredible thing.
Now, I didn't know that cinnamon had health benefits. I was just like, oh, it smells nice. I know it tastes good when you have it on, hot chocolate or whatever. Let me add it to this. Added it, found out it is antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, also aids with gut health, reduces blood pressure, another one of that, lowers sort of blood sugars as well. So those people that are at risk of diabetes, it absolutely reduces that risk. And again, relieves your digestive discomfort. And of course, it tastes delicious. So that was one of the things that I added. Elderberry was a 2020 edition.
All of them. You got the heavy hitters.
Okay. So during 2020 and lockdown happened, right? My family and we would always have the elderberry gummies because we've known for a while how great elderberry is for you. So 2020, it was just the beginning of the year, and I went into my usual health food shop. They were actually one of the first stores to actually start selling my drink.
Yeah.
But all the gummies were gone. Like the whole shelf was missing. Like nothing was there. I was like, where's the elderberry? They were like, yeah, we've sold out. I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? They said, well, we have dry elderberry, I said, well, what am I going to do with that? I said, oh, you can make some tea. I was like, oh.
Bing, light bulb.
Yep. So I started buying that, adding that to the tea. Then Manuka honey. Manuka honey is, I mean, raw local runny honey is always good for you anyway, because if it's local, then it's got the bees that have pollinated it from locally. So it helps you with allergies, etc., etc. Manuka honey specifically, the plant is only grown in New Zealand. Right. I don't know why, but it is. Yeah. But that is a powerful, potent, delicious aid. Like literally, you could put it on your skin. If you've got teenagers, I mean, I do have a teenager who's not that bothered about acne, but if he were, I would be putting it on his skin because it helps with acne. It obviously is an immune booster as well. Helps with tooth decay, apparently, which is fantastic. And as a singer, I'm sure you know how good honey is just for the throat and for soothing.
Oh my God. I bought Manuka 2 days ago, Loretta Nakwacha. So I'm on your, we're here. We're here completely. Okay. It's expensive.
Yes.
But as a good friend of mine said, you can pay now or you can pay the doctor. When he said that, I was like, ooh, okay, we're done here. That was years ago.
Yeah, yeah. Literally the one I've been adding to the tea that I make.
Yes.
It's expensive, but to me, it's so worth it.
What is that? I'm sorry, what is that brand?
So the brand is, so this is Manuka Health. This one?
Manuka Health. Oh, yeah. I have seen that. Yes, I have seen that.
Okay. And basically, I was told by another sort of health specialist, natural health, the higher the MGO number,
yes, I heard that.
Higher that number, the better it is for you. So something like this, you see the size of it. I mean, I do have big hands, but still, the size of it, right? This is, I think, $43.99.
Yep. Yep.
But when you think about it, if you start to get the tickly throat or whatever, you take a spoonful of that.
Right, and now one of our great attendees, Holly, I don't always feel like I say her name wrong. She said sometimes you can get it at Home Goods, which is true. If you go there, sometimes they have it. Like I don't know how that happened, but yeah.
Wow.
I love Home Goods too. That's a great place to go.
That's good.
I'm so happy that you brought those other gems. They're all in my body at least a few times a month. Everything you said. So I'm completely in agreement with you. And I want to know, and by the way, huge compliment on your marketing. It's simple, it's clean, it's all over the place. You know, I've tried your drink. I'm about to order some more. So good. And I'm just really proud of you. I just think there's so many things that are going on in the world. And you and I have the great gift of being entertainers. We're able to go into a room and change the atmosphere with our voice, with our body. And now you've brought another thing that helps humankind. And I'm just really proud of you. I really want to say that. It's just, if each person can take their gift and spread it during this time that we're in, because people are really in a bad place right now. And you're doing that thing that's like, hey, you can get this at the grocery store. What are you doing? Just buy these, you know? And I want to commend you for that.
Anything that can help us help ourselves. You know what I mean? Mother Nature gave us literally every single ingredient. Mother Nature has given this to us. So if we can help ourselves, look, it's not curing cancer. I know that. But you know what it can help with? Because my mother passed away from cancer. So to watch her go through chemotherapy and the discomfort, just how horrid the side effects were from the treatment. You know, if I had known about something like this then, to know that I could have helped ease her nausea, helped to somehow build her immune system, my goodness me, I would have done it. This is now an avenue that I'm looking into, because it's like, so a lot of us know about these ingredients, but a lot of us don't. So it's just about, the marketing needs to be full on. And this is stuff that I'm just doing myself. I don't even have yet the resources to actually employ a company that can help spread the word, but I need the word to go to places where people don't know yet how they can heal themselves from the inside out. It's so possible.
Now, these are for sale in your area and then abroad, or do you want to get it to a Whole Foods, or is that your goal? Are you very much kind of happy with your small area that you want to go. You want to go with it.
This is my slogan. I want to be in as many hands and as many mouths as possible.
Wow. Well, that's a little bit of a marketing sentence right there. Whew. Okay.
Like in the literal sense, you know what I mean? Not just being a bit naughty, a bit cheeky. I want to be in as many hands. Literally, this drink alone. I know I'm not the only person that's making healthy beverages, right. But if I'm making it I don't make it in my kitchen, but if I can make it in my little kitchen, other people can do it as well. But 100%. A lot of people might not have the time to do it. So if I'm dedicating the time to do so, I need to have everyone have it available to them. Yes, it's available currently online and in stores in my neighborhood, in my town, on Long Island, basically. Right. But I'm in the process of making it so that, first of all, we don't have to be in plastic bottles, because it doesn't really make sense that you're making this healthy drink and then you're putting it in plastic that's just going to go in the landfills. I don't want to be part of that anymore. I am now in the process of getting into cans. Aluminium cans are infinitely recyclable.
Absolutely.
It's an expensive process and a long process, and I am about to start my fundraising campaign. But basically, the point of that is not just to actually improve the packaging, but to actually then improve the shelf life and make it easier to be able to ship it across, not just the state, not just across the country, but across the world. And I've had inquiries from England, from Jamaica, and it's like, well, I can't, to ship this to you, it's going to cost me an arm and a leg. I wish I could get it to you. But if I can get it into the different packaging, it will give it maybe like a 6-month shelf life, and then I will be able to ship it to whoever wants it, whoever wants to try it. That I'm happy to do, because
you're going to do it. You're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. And I'm here for you. I am. I'll do anything that you need to help you, because I think this is such an incredible thing. And, we've been friends for such a long time. And people who do things like this is my language. This is exactly what I love to do and be next to. I want to take some questions if anyone has a question at this time, because we have all these incredible human beings that I'm sure are so grateful for this topic. If anyone has a question, please let us know. Open up your mic or whatever you'd like to do.
Mary has a question.
Yes. So my granddaughter, who is 9, has a sensitivity to cinnamon. So I would, and I live in North Georgia, and I do, occasionally make sorts of things that would, like I make homemade blackberry wine, and I make pickles and things like that. So being in that, and since I'm retired, I'll have a little more time to do that. Do you have recipes that you would sell to people, or some idea about what you do? Do you just throw all the stuff in with some good water and boil it up, or what?
I mean, basically, anyone that gets to try my drink right away can taste that it's different from what's on the market, which is the reason I started making it. So regular ginger teas, or even the ginger shots that you might find in the grocery stores, they're very different, not just because it's strong, but because it has all the culmination of ingredients that I have in it. And I've got an infinite amount of ideas about various combinations that I want to put into it. Right now, I have got to focus on changing this packaging. But absolutely, there are so many different things, including, I've heard now from a couple of people that there is this cinnamon sensitivity. So I would even consider taking out, doing versions without cinnamon, even versions without the Manuka honey, because not both of, like this version has not just Manuka honey, but it also has raw local runny honey, which makes it a bit sweeter. Yeah. And it's my preferred version because it's sweeter. I can drink it cold. I do generally drink it hot. And then on the weekends, I'll drink it cold with some tequila.
Yeah, went in on that one.
But yes, I'm open to the idea of doing versions without honey at all, because if it's a vegan thing or whatever, my main priority is to get the ginger and definitely the elderberry. Those two. That would be the stripped down version, I would say. Yeah. And you can drink it with anything. You can drink it cold, drink it hot. I've got a seasonal version, which has not come to sale yet at all. I'm just giving it hot at events with, but that one's got the same ingredients, but also cloves, nutmeg. So it's got that, you know, when you're supposed to be drinking like a pumpkin spice this time of year, all of those things do not contain any pumpkin when you buy them from Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. They're just very, very sweet drinks, which is great. But what are they doing for you, you know, other than adding the pounds and adding more sugar to your body that you don't need? And trust me, I'm not all about just being healthy. Like I mentioned, tequila is a fun drink to have. Champagne, as I'm sure Chase can remember, I love champagne as well. So I'm about balance. I'm a Libra, so balance is absolutely integral for me. You know, so it's about getting the right balance for each individual person, starting with the root of health and then throwing in different things to kind of help you enjoy it more so that it's not a chore. Drinking this every day for me is definitely not a chore. Like I go on vacation now and I make sure that I have a kitchen and I take with me the ingredients that I can get through customs, and then I go and buy ginger and make my tea there because I literally don't want to be without it. That might be am I obsessed? I might be obsessed.
Well, if you're obsessed with your health, keep doing that. That's a great obsession.
Right?
I love it. You know, I think it's great. I think it's really great. Let's get a question from Stan.
Good.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to thank you, Loretta, for this. This is great. I when I heard you, you know, talk about your product and the benefits of it, I always have some fresh ginger in the house. I always have me some ginger. Yeah. I put a picture of a ginger up in my background photo, right? but ginger is absolutely perfect, and I'm definitely looking forward to purchasing your product. So
thank you, Stan. Thank you.
For me to get that.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that background, that picture. I appreciate
That's
it.
cool, right?
You're welcome.
That's really cool. Jennifer, I'm sorry to cut you off before. I just saw Stan's hand. Go right ahead.
That's all right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And Loretta, thank you so much. Oh my God, the valuable information that you have shared. And you have included, I'm a ginger lover, first of all. And you have included like that honey. I haven't heard of that. The cinnamon I use. But there is one ingredient I did not hear you mention.
Tell me.
It's an ingredient that I concoct, and a lot of people know of it, that's called Russian penicillin. And what it is ginger and garlic.
What?
Yes, let me tell you, as a performer, and you know, we know whenever something has gotten into our system, you know, you get that bug, immediately I go and I get that ginger root, I get that garlic, and I boil it until the color is no longer clear, and drink it. I don't add honey, nothing to it. Let me tell you something. It's a miracle worker. Wow. I was working on a show, this is several years ago, and one of the actors, he got to the rehearsal. No, before he got to the rehearsal, he called me. He says, Jennifer, could you make that thing you're talking about? I have this very bad cold. So I made it. And I brought it to the rehearsal. He drank it. It was awful. Let me tell you, because I put a lot of ginger and a lot of garlic. But the next day, he was fine. About a year or so afterwards, a director calls me up. She said, what is that thing you made for Cabral? She says, we have one of the actors here and the show is opening up tomorrow and he's lost his voice. Gave her the ingredient, ginger and garlic. Show went on. So I just want to thank you. And I just wanted to share that. With ginger and garlic, Russian penicillin, my sister.
I'm writing that down.
Goodness.
I also want to know what's the flavor? Because I'm curious. I want to experiment.
It's pungent. It's very pungent. Think of the pungency of garlic. You know, garlic is peppery, right?
Yes.
And think of the garlic is peppery. So is ginger. It's not a pleasant taste, but I tell you something, what's good for you don't really have to taste good, right? Because it's good for you.
Yep, exactly.
Break it when you want to be alone.
This was,
yeah.
This was a really huge gold mine. Russian penicillin.
It's Russian penicillin. That's right. Ginger and garlic. Fresh ginger and fresh garlic.
Man, I'm doing that today because I use them separate. Yeah. But wow.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm going to try that for sure. And I need to stay in touch with you, Jennifer, so that I can. Yeah, for sure.
This is it.
you for that.
This is why we come to the Daily Huddle, to get these gems. Man, oh man, that was just slid right into home plate. That was incredible. Does anyone have any other quick questions? We're going to close out. If not, I don't want to cut anybody off, or if we have a couple seconds afterwards, maybe we can ask you a question. But we're going to close out for right now. And man.
And Mary has her hand up, Chase.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Go ahead. You're muted.
If you can post her website, that would be great.
Oh, yes,
that's exactly what I'm about to do now. Oh, hold on, I'm sending it to Jennifer, but I can post it if you want to, or if you have it, Chase, you can definitely do that. But
and I believe it's on the website. I mean, it's on the Facebook as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. So, Loretta, I'm definitely would love to have you back again, and we'll talk about that, because we have other things I want you to discuss as well, and we'll just keep that topic of wellness within our reach going, because I believe that it is there for us to take in if we need to. But for everyone else, thank you so much for being here. As always, we close with our amazing tenets. Number one, love harder. Please do, right? Move the body as much as possible, please. It's so imperative. Laugh out loud, because laughing soothes the soul, I believe, just as much as ginger does. I believe that. Sleep well, sleep over the 6 to 7 hours. Go back to when you were a baby and you could sleep 8, 9, 10 hours. Figure that out sometimes. It would be really, really advantageous. Also, eating plant-based, give it a shot. Eat mostly plant-based. Give your body the gift of not having to break down so many things that destroy us. Just keep it in your head to eat mostly plant-based. I know many people will never eat plant-based all the way. I get that. Also, stress less. And I believe this too. More ginger, calm the body down. You will stress less. All these things are connected in a way that you can't even believe until you start to move in that direction. And lastly, of course, please check yourself before you wreck yourself. It's so important. Thank you so much for being with us today. I am so happy that you were here, Loretta, and we will definitely be bringing you back on before you know it.
thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Loretta. Thank you, man. Thank you, Daily Huddle.